Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I thought it'd be fun to do a cooking video where I actually speak with you as I cook. So I'm making a super simple tuna cake recipe. And I just got these 3 cans of tuna, which were like $1 each. And that's like soup. What are you doing? This is a very cost-efficient dinner because all you need is some tuna, an onion, some garlic, and we've got some potatoes, and then a few other nitty-gritty bits of things. A few other bits that we are going to put together to make our tuna cakes. I don't understand what's happening in my kitchen right now. So we're just going to smash it with your fork, knife. Clearly, I've never done this before.
How do you know when it's done?
We're trying to do a professional cooking show here.
Sorry, guys.
This is why we never do this. This is why we have voiceovers.
Oh, that did not work.
I'm just trying to eat this up. Alright, back to this. So what you want is some nicely, finely chopped garlic.
Do you want me to throw out the juice?
Yes, please. I need a new sous chef because I think my husband is it's just not working. Sous chef wise.
Why don't you ask the girl that's standing behind the camera?
She's a secret sous chef. So one of the things that everyone hates about me is how I cut onions, because I cut onions terribly. So I'm going to show you guys how I cut onions in a second. So we're just...
How do you cut onions?
Who? So we're just doing a really rough mince chop.
Yes, girl!
Alright, so next we have a white onion here. We're just going to cut the ends off. I really need to sharpen my knives. And then I'm just going to make like a slit and take off this outer layer. Today I found out my sister doesn't subscribe to my channel because she doesn't want to. So there you go, folks.
Which sister?
My eldest sister.
But she watches it.
I don't know. I don't think so. Alright, so we're just going to chop these onions up really finely.
Right.
It's gonna be, I'm just gonna move these onions over for a second. So what we need to do is we need a potato. So I'm just gonna use one large russet potato, and then I'm just gonna rinse that. So I have a potato here, and I am going to peel it. I'm just gonna chop up these potatoes just roughly, and we're just gonna be putting them to boil. And I want to soften them up really nicely because we are gonna use them for our tuna cakes. So just rough slices is fine. Toss them in my bowl. And then we're just gonna put some water in there, and then just heat it up. As the garlic is already starting to brown, I'm just gonna throw in my onions. So we want to saute these down really nicely. Just gonna give this a good mix. So we just want the onions to sweat. So this is wetting these onions. And then we are going to be adding in our tuna soon. So I just have 3 cans of tuna here. So what we're going to do actually is I'm just going to use a fork to break up the large chunks. Do this in the pan as well. So you want like a very dry tuna. Alright. So the onions have started to soften, so I'm just going to add in my tuna now. So I'm just going to throw that in here. And we're just going to break it up with our spoon. So you can have it on medium heat for this. So now I've broken up all the big chunks of tuna, and to this I'm going to be adding we're going to do a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm going to do a teaspoon of black pepper. So this is half a teaspoon, so that's why I'm using it. We're going to do a teaspoon chili flakes. I think I'm going to do a teaspoon and a half of chili flakes. And we're going to do a teaspoon and a half of salt. It's a chunk of salt on there. More of this garlic powder. And I will just do half a teaspoon of chili powder for now. We're just going to give this a good mix. It's really important to season this part because once we add the potatoes as well, it's going to soak up all the salt and all the spices. I'm going to be adding my cilantro now. So we're just going to let this cook for a few minutes. Alright, so I have I just turned off the fire for this while I waited for my potatoes to boil. So those are boiled and we're going to add them to this. And so you kind of want to cool it down a little bit because it's super hot and we're going to use our hands to kind of mash it together. So we're just going to do that. So I have a bowl right here and we're going to take our filling and I'm just going to put it in here into the bowl. So I'm just going to use like a ladle with some holes. Just grab some of these potatoes. I'm just going to put that in here.
Potatoes.
Just put that in here. So this is like one large potato. And we can obviously add more if you... The potato is going to create a binding effect so that when we're forming the shapes for the patties, for the cakes, they'll stick together. So I don't want to do this while it's super hot, so I'm just going to let this cool down slightly and then we're going to come in and we're going to mash it up. So I'm going to add lemon juice towards the end and then that'll be it for what goes into the tuna cake. And then we're just going to mix it all together, put it in a patty, which I'm going to show you guys, and then we're just going to fry it in the pan. So I'm just waiting for this to cool down, so I just have my glove ready. Alright, so I've got my glove on, and it's still a little bit warm, but it's not super hot. So I'm just going to go in here. So over here I have a plate with flour. And then I've got a parchment paper on a baking tray. So I'm going to make my cakes about the size of my palm. And then I'm just going to shape it like a hamburger patty. Just like that. Just like that. And then I'm going to add I'm just gonna lightly coat it in the flour. So I'm just gonna put it in the flour and flip it over and just do the sides. Just like that. This is just another way for it to stay in the shape that you want it. So I'm just gonna put this on my parchment paper and then I'm gonna do the rest. My cakes here, and I'm just going to refrigerate this for about 30 minutes to an hour just so it can kind of shapen up or stay in shape, and then we're going to pan sear. Alright, so they have been in the refrigerator for about an hour, and I'm just going to take off the cling wrap. And so I have them right here, and then I have some breadcrumbs. So this is a mix of panko and Italian, and then I have just some egg wash in a bowl. So this next part is super simple. We're just gonna take our one of our cakes, just like that, and we're gonna dip it in the egg right here, just this shallow, and then flip it, and then strain off any excess egg that's on there, and then we're just gonna put it in our breadcrumbs, and then just coat it. Super simple. And then we're just going to do these for all of them. And then meanwhile, I'm going to get a little bit of oil on my stove. Just heat it up so we can sear these babies. So I've added about 4 of the cakes into the oil. So it's just about maybe like 3 to 4 tablespoons of olive oil or sunflower oil, whatever oil you like. So we're just looking to get a nice crispy bottom. Then we're going to flip it over, and then we will do our next batch. So we are going to try to flip this. I think it'll be easier if I use 2 things. So we're just going to hold this down and flip it over, just like that. And then we're going to do the same to this one. Hold it down, flip it over, hold it, oh, I'm struggling. Oh, you okay? Yeah. We're just going to give it about 5 more minutes on each side, and then we can take it out. Alright, so I'm going to take these out now. You can see if you want to flip them over. The other side is brown. So this was my first batch. It's a little bit messier than the second batch, but that's okay. So we're just going to line it on this parchment paper just to get any excess oil off. And we're going to serve it up. Okay, stop it. Alright guys, so that is our fish cakes done, and I have them just in my bowl with some steamed broccoli. And this recipe was so simple and it tastes amazing, and I really hope you guys try it out. I'll leave all of the ingredients and how to make it down below in the description box. And don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and I'll catch you guys very soon.